Hello, hello.
I'm putting headphones on?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. And where's the microphone? Make sure that everybody can hear you.
Jim Melita in the building at the UBM.
All right.
All right, that's my mic check.
All right. so she is here, and we are going to be talking about some fantabulous things. One, all the things that are always going on at the Harold Washington Culture Center. And two, she's getting an award for being a woman that is driven and focused. Yes. So we're going to talk about that today. But as always, we want to remind everybody to don't forget to download the UBM app. Log in to urbanbroadcastmedia.com and listen live if you like. But if you want to call in today and ask a question or talk live with myself or Jim Melita, then you can do so at 312-754-4333. Okay? Don't forget to like us on Empower Hour Facebook as well as Bertina Power on Facebook. We've got UBM on Facebook and UBM on YouTube. All right, we're all over the place. Now, speaking of which, news that professionals can use. It is Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, if you haven't done your, Black Friday shopping, Saturday small business shopping, I guess it was rest on Sunday, and now today it is Cyber Monday. So it is to be the biggest U.S. shopping online day in history, they are saying. It was to bring in as much as $6.6 billion in digital sales.
Wow.
And that's got 16.5% from the 5.6 billion last year.
Wow.
So, a lot of people are buying online, and I've been reporting how Lord & Taylor closed their flagship building in New York, and a lot of stores are emerging or closing their buildings, and with that is why the Cyber Monday day of sales are going through the roof. It's like a Super Bowl of retail, they're saying,
Amazing.
And even toys are being bought online. And I think, if you've ever shopped for a kid, Jamila, you have children.
Yes.
You ever shopped during this holiday time for children, it is just, in toys, it's just not the place you want to be, right? Because people are crazy.
What I'm finding interesting with a lot of the 6.6 billion, there's a heavy purchase in STEM items and products. A lot of parents are now getting hip to that STEM is cool to do, and that there's a potential for it with other careers. So there was a heavy tick up in the tech toys.
Just in the tech, yeah, because I remember the days of, Cabbage Patch dolls, and people fighting over a physical, toy, as opposed to now, it is, all the smart TVs, all the handheld games, all of that.
The drones.
The drones, yes.
My daughter wanted I think her drone was like $1,500 for that drone.
For the drone.
I said, we gonna hold up for a second.
You said hold out for that for just a little bit.
Goodness.
I do understand. You got to save for that stuff all year long as it relates to some of these technologies.
Yeah.
But then there's also the cool things that are going on when you start talking about STEM, like the programs, the summer programs, the engineering camps, the math camps, so all of those, incorporated into what is STEM.
So with this, one of the things I would love to make sure that we do, we got to support Project Sincere. When I was telling my friends, go ahead and buy that STEM pack for their kids to do at home. And the same thing, like there's an aviation program that we work closely with, which is Tamara Holmes. Now she has a program where she's teaching young women and men to be aviators.
Okay.
And that's a big deal. And you also got 1647 Blue and all these other ones. And it's very important to look at how can you purchase the educational STEM package. Not just a toy, but you're going to need somebody to teach them how to develop the app, how to design it.
Coding,
and
all of those things.
All of that. So,
and we had a young lady on last week who won Apple's new app production for an app that, and she had been working on it for years, and it is designed to help give you understanding with mental health, believe it or not, so that you are in a situation where your heart rate is racing, you may not even know, your reaction is happening, and you might need to relieve yourself from this situation before you snap, or take some deep breaths, breathe through the situation, calm yourself. So, really nice thing, and congratulations, little young, not a young, but she's about 40-something, African-American woman who won this opportunity with Apple. That is huge. It is so huge. And of course, I'm sure everybody was like, well, it's going to be on Droid. And she was like, I'm sure that's the next step, right? And, after Apple to Droid, yes. So also in the news, Meredith Corporation will acquire Time, the Time organization, for roughly $2.8 billion. And this all cash deal, They're like, who has an all-cash deal at $2.8 billion? Well, Meredith Corporation does, and it's backed by the $600 million equity investment that the billionaire Koch brothers will be doing as a part of that. So I've been talking about it, and I suspect the deal is happening. If it is an all-cash deal, it is going down. Now, it also says here that Bitcoin, the Bitcoin hit a new record.
$9,000.
$9,412 over the weekend, just weeks before CME, the largest future exchange, plans to list Bitcoin. So $9,412. This volatile, what they call a cryptocurrency, has grown 800% this year. Yeah, 1 year, 800%.
Let me tell you, my daughter and my husband were at my bumper yesterday about this Bitcoin cryptocurrency.
Yes.
They're like, we could have got it for $250. Now it's this. I said, I get it. I got it. We gonna figure out how we gonna move this around and do what we gotta do.
Yes, $9,000 now, $412. So, you know, I had some people saying, Bertina, you ought to buy this. This thing is going crazy. You thinking, man, get out of here, you know. And
it was like a pet rock to me.
Right.
My pet rock. The heck is
I talk about the pet rock situation all the time. That's what I thought, that little 3-ring thing that everybody, the widget. I was just like, dude, this thing does nothing. Mama, it spins, it calms me. I said, it's a pet rock. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I say all the time. So, true enough that Bitcoin has hit high records. They're also saying, who's the boss? Leandra English became the temporary head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau hours after former director Rich Cordery abruptly resigned on Friday and is suing President Trump over his appointment of Mick Mulvaney. So both Trump and Cordery believe it is their power to appoint the acting director of the watchdog agency created for the financial crisis. So
that should have been I think that's an independent seat, isn't that? That's
confusing. Well, yeah, but you know what? So, there is definitely always a question about who gets the right to appoint something or somebody when a position becomes open. You know, once it was filled, and then now it's abruptly, not at the end of the term, not doing an election, then who gets the right to do that? And so I suspect that they'll be continuing to fight over that.
That bears watching.
Yes. Lawmakers also returned to Washington this week with a tight calendar and a dizzying list of legislative tasks, including tax reform and revising that federal budget. So the Senate could vote on its tax plan this week, with the GOP leaders hoping to send a final bill to President Trump before the end of the year. Now, government shutdown is also at risk, and you know, we've had this before, but we don't like it, with current funding set to expire December 8th. Although Congress is expected to pass a short-term stopgap to extend negotiations, President Trump will meet with both parties on Tuesday, and that's like tomorrow, so we shall see. All right, so the idea of the day: if work isn't going the way you expected, your body language could be to blame. Now, Jamila, you've been in leader roles and you've been, you know, on the other role, and would you not believe that, crossing the arms and eyes rolling and lips puckered, people, you don't even know that you're doing it sometimes. I've been doing myself live and I'm watching myself. I said, do I do that? Like, you know, my eyebrows are raised. Yeah, you know, all of these things are happening. But people need to realize that your body language, get a trusted advisor, get yourself videotaped, maybe look at yourself in the mirror when you're having a conversation and critique that non-body language that is going on that you have no idea could be the very thing that's stopping you from...
Non-verbal speaks a lot.
It always speaks more. That's what they say. It's like, you heard that saying, your actions speak louder than words.
That's right.
That is what a non-verbal is. Exactly. It is your action, it's a physical action that is speaking louder than whatever it is that you're trying to say. All right, so we're going to take a quick break right now, but don't forget to follow and like at Bertina Power on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. You are listening to Urban Broadcast Media. I am Bertina Powell. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, all right, so now I don't have my stand, so we got to do some special things like move this over and see who is chiming in. Say hi. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Maurice. Hey, Denise. And James Means. He says happy holidays. Happy Bertina. Keep rocking your show. Thank you. Denise, William, Naldane. Hey, good afternoon. Shaka, Aiden, Tamiko, Devin, Mark, Belvy, Yo, Dexter, Lavita, Aaron, Karen. Oh my goodness, Fred Crosby. I don't know if it's because I was off for 2 days or it's because I had Miss Jimalisa Tillman in the building. That's why
popular.
They are like chiming in. Hey, Airman and Sydney and Melanie and Maurice and Teresa and Clark.
Hey, Clark. Everybody's on here today.
Yeah, they're chiming in at least to say hi. So that was covered up over here. So I didn't want to.
Because it can't get distracted.
Yeah, that's right. Trying to see what's going on. And then you managed to.
Look, all my curls are filled with these headphones.
Yeah. And how did, what headphone, what microphone?
I have no idea what microphone.
You're supposed to be on 3. What number is that? This the one.
Look, is that why they cut me up super loud?
Yeah, right. They probably turned you up
trying to catch me on that mic.
Trying to pick you up over there on that mic.
All right.
All right. So
I can come in with you once a month. I'm loving this. I'm having a ball.
But you know what? That's how this happened to me. I was a guest. And I said, I was like, well, I like this. I said, y'all gonna be my own show one day.
I love it.
Literally, that's what I said.
Like
and then after the second time I got back invited as a guest, I was like, y'all keep inviting me back, and I'm gonna be on here for real. And sure enough, there you have it.
This is awesome.
Now I'm doing it, and I'm enjoying it.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's really a great opportunity I find to share this important information. Mm-hmm. One about the news, 2 about what newsmakers such as yourself are doing in events, and on Wednesdays I have what I call Doing Good in the Hood.
I like that.
And so that is honoring non-for-profits, foundations, and what you that are doing good in the hood. Mm-hmm. And nobody knows what you're doing because you're doing it because this is what you have a passion for, what you want to do. But I think that people should know who you are, what you do, and how they can help if they can. And so a lot of people have been excited about that and receiving some help via this, and so I'm really excited about that. So, and then I think I'm gonna open it up now to have people be able to start sending me, so you all can hear me now, my Facebook fans, send me, inbox me, email me, or what have you, text me names of organizations, company, and people you want to see on the show, and then I'll just reach out and see if I can't get them on the show.
I would love to see Tamara Holmes from Aerospace.
Aerostar. All right.
She does some.
Well, you got my email.
Yes,
send me her stuff.
Yeah, her.
Tamara Holmes.
Yes, because my daughter, she's a young aviator, right? So she's flying planes. She started flying planes at 10. And so Tamara Holmes getting these girls and these young men up in the air with aircraft maintenance. And she's a sister, and it's the dopest thing.
Well, and that's great because my son was a part of one of those Tuskegee Airmen,
Tuskegee Next. Did he do Tuskegee Next? Has he done that?
I don't know if he's gonna be 10.
You need to get you got to get him. You got to get him up in that L.
Okay, I think we get ready to because I gotta get ready to bring us back up. Yep, here we go. All right. Welcome back to Empower Hour with your host, Bertina Power, and my guest in the studio, Miss Jimalita Tillman. Now, I don't know who's watching who absolutely has no idea who Miss Jimalita Tillman is, but she is the daughter of former Alderman Dorothy Tillman, and so you've grown up in this, for the people, activist, community person, seeing a driven woman, and obviously why you are so driven and successful as well. Would you not say? Hey, Alderman Tillman.
She's signed in.
I'm sure she is watching us, So you grew up in this, because you had to be a young girl when she was the alderman.
Absolutely. Harold Washington was like a grandfather to me, and we're celebrating his the 30th anniversary of him passing, and continuing his legacy, and it's very important for young people to know exactly who Harold Washington is to us, and what he meant to the city. A lot of his economic plans are still being carried out to this day. The growth that we're seeing has a result of his work that he put in 83 and 87.
Listen, I was in a restaurant just last night having dinner right here in Hyde Park on 55th, and somebody was going on and on and on about Harold Washington. I mean, the conversation of Harold Washington is just going on and on and on, and that is why it's the 30th year. So we have a phone call. Jimalita brings out phone calls. Hello, who's on the line? I think this is gonna be the time I'm gonna need my headphones. I can't hear. So who's on the line? Can you hear?
I'll let you take it.
Hello. I can. Who do we have on the line? Hi, Dana Kemp. How are you?
Dana Dane, the barber to the stars.
The barber to the stars. Okay. He had to call in, everybody. He said Jamalita is such a beautiful person to him, inside and out, and he wanted to call in.
We
and
love
give her some
Dana.
love.
Dana does the free haircuts for the boys in Inglewood and Chatham, keeping their dignity and their manhood. He helps young, that's somebody who needs to have on the show. He helps young men and fathers that are trying to get back into the workforce. He helps get them together, you know, getting their clothes and their cutting, getting their inside out together to get ready to go in for those job interviews and reclaiming and taking back their family. So shout out to Dana taking time out.
Doing good in the hood.
Doing good, Dana. Dang.
Yeah, Dana, we're definitely going to have to get you on the show and get your information from Jamalita so that we can share with everybody who you are.
Bringing celebrities out. Go ahead, Dana. I'm surprised he ain't on a movie set somewhere.
So where are you, Dana? She said, are you on a movie set? No. Okay. He said he was. He wish he was. Well, thank you, Dana, for giving us a call and sharing the love. And like I said, we'll get your information and make sure that we find out who you are and what you have going on. Okay, no problem. God bless you too. All right, so that was Dana Kemp on the line giving some love to Jamalita and saying that. So we were talking before the phone call about it being Harold Washington's 30 years since he passed in '87.
Yes.
And, you know, I too was a young girl during that time frame. And Harold Washington, I have a younger brother whose name is Harold. And so, you know, I think one day the teacher asked him to write his name on the paper and he wrote Harold Washington instead of his name because he was just like, I have his name. And my mom, who worked in the library system, obviously had access to Harold Washington too. And he would yell across the room, you know, hey, how's my baby doing? And she was like, hey, you can't be saying that kind of stuff, you know. Because she was like, one, my child's name is Harold, you know, and two, I can't be having people think I had your child, you know. And I'm married with, you know, 3 kids. But, you know, it is just the fond memories of the campaigning that went on when he won, you know, and the things that he was doing. But you were really close having a mother as an alderman under the mayor.
Talk about doing mailers, phone banking. I'm Beasley, right? First, second grade, making phone calls. Hi, if you want us to have a brighter future, you know, you're going to support Harold Washington for mayor. And that was an exciting time for all of us because he was an economic and political architect. As one would call it, an artist with it. He was very artistic with the way that he crafted out the city and laid out a plan to restore our boulevards and to restore our neighborhoods to glory and not have them.
And the South Side being the focus because too many years and even now, you know, the focus lies north of the South Side, and so you know we wind up, you know, not getting that access, right? All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and find more about Jamalita Tillman as an individual and a woman, and she's the current global director of programs and operations for the Harold Washington Culture Center, right here down the street on 47th and King Drive. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Empower Hour. Yes. Fabulous. That was perfect timing. That was perfect, you know, to talk about that. So now we'll come in, like I said, about you and a little bit of your history. And then this award. Yeah, and then when I say it's so much. Because we'll have the longest time. We'll have about 10 minutes then, which is going to seem like forever.
Hey, Dorothy, you can log on to the,
what is
this is my daughter.
Oh,
no, you can go on to that.
You can find me on my page.
Dorothy G, I need you to go on. I'm doing an interview, so you have to go on to the internet and watch it. Okay.
You're going on? Okay. Yeah, so, all right, okay, so So what makes? Oh, we got another caller. Oh, you just got all the callers. Okay, all right.
What makes it global? Right.
If I got to guess at anything like when I first did it, and my mama on the line.
Max, like, don't be getting my sneakers on this doggone video.
Headphones. I can't work the caller without headphones. Yeah. So.
Dude, they loud, but they not that loud.
You know. Right, when the caller gets in, it's further back. Yeah. I need a headphone so I can do the callers. See, I can do them with the mic. No, I don't want to take it from her. I just need to hear them. Hey, everybody out there. Oh, let's see who else we. Hey, hey, my cousin Gina. Elizabeth. Look, happy 29th anniversary, Gina. I was just telling her, I was like, I was there when she got married 29 years ago. I ain't that old. I'm in 2 right now. Okay, it don't matter. That's what I said, it don't matter. Okay, you getting ready to go back so I can get a call. All right, we are back. This is Bertina Power, and you are listening to Empower Hour on Urban Broadcast Media. Don't forget to download the app, or you can log into urbanbroadcastmedia.com. And we already have another caller on the line, so let me see. Caller, who do we have on the line? Hi, Frederick. How are you? Good. Where are you calling from, Frederick? Okay. Mm-hmm. What? Yes. Well, thank you so very much. You know, you can download the app and then you can take us with you on your phone while you driving around or moving about. But I'm here every day, Monday through Friday at noon. So thank you for joining us today. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I might can make that happen. You know, Freya, because you know it's great to have creative control over your show, which I have. And I'm always looking for subjects and topics and matters that matter most to the listeners and the audience. Absolutely. And so I have some, you know, varied opinions as a mother, but we'll bring some experts on and we'll have a conversation about that. And if you have any recommendations, you know the number. You can always call here or email us at info@urbanbroadcastmedia.com. Yeah. Any suggestions, recommendations, names, contact information of anybody and any subject that you'd like to hear specifically right here on Empower Hour. I'm opening it up.
I think one of the biggest conversations I've had with other parents is homeschool versus private school versus public school. Because I homeschooled my daughter for her high school years, and she excelled a little further and quicker, but it had a lot to do with her foundational principles that she learned at a private school.
At a private school, but at the same time eliminating that extra distraction that comes with what clothes you wearing.
Yeah, the noise in the background. Yeah, Lord Jesus.
Listen, I got in the Uber yesterday and had a conversation with the man because when he found out I had a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, what school he was going to, and I told him he was at Morgan Park Academy, and he was just like, oh, well, if he's not at one of the top 5, you know, private school institutions, that it's a waste of time. I said, well, I'm not quite sure I agree with that because, you know, I have a young man that I think came out the womb, you know, at a level of intelligence that it is my objective to nurture and grow and help understand his way of thinking.
Absolutely.
Which is not like just, you know, reciting and memorizing some things. He really has to comprehensively understand why you are doing this. So there is no lying to him and all that fluff that a lot of parents do. There is no saying, well, because I said so. That doesn't work either. There is no.
It's interesting. It's this dynamic between like these 9-year-olds and I'll say about 12-year-olds, right? They're very analytical. They want you to quantify and qualify the information. And it's not just based on the Google society. They came out with a whole nother level of intellect. And they're not children, they're little people for real.
Yes, they are like grown. I tell them, I said, this little boy is like 40 years old, you know. It's just like, you know, I'm the mama. That's what I always say. I was like, wait a minute, I'm the mama.
Yeah.
So remember that, but at the same time, you know, it's just little things. And Fred, you done got us all off subject, but you know, it's very important. And we'll just say a couple of things because it's just in those moments that happen. So we were in Krispy Kreme. I took him this first time, and he was like, Mom, I want to go. So we go, long line. He don't have any problem waiting in this long line, right? Any other time, he's like, I'm tired. I don't understand. But we waiting in line, and he's watching these people work, or we watching the donuts fresh and hot fall off the rack. And he was like, Mom, all these people in line, they making a lot of money. And I said, Brandon, those people are making the same amount of money, no matter who's in line and no matter how many donuts are being made.
Right.
The person who owns this Krispy Kreme is the one making the most
And
money.
also
You know what I'm saying? Like, just
so the wheels turning. He was like, well, wait a minute.
Right. In that moment,
Yes.
it became a difference in
That's
working
right.
a job and being your own boss,
Yes.
right? Like, just, and the woman heard me who had 2 young boys with her, and she goes, yes.
Yep.
I mean, we having praise dance.
Those are the moments that we have to steal. Those teachable moments, that's the school without walls.
Right.
Those are the lessons they're going to be able to carry a whole lot further
Absolutely.
than Johnny can read or than whatever some of this stuff they feeding our babies in school.
Absolutely.
You know,
And
those are the moments.
That's the moment, and you know, I'm so proud of those moments. I think even more so. Yes, of course, we love our A's and B's
Yes,
that come
we do.
in from
We
school
do.
on the report card, and we praise you for that. But it's in the moments that your child runs up to you and says, "Mom, I problem solved." I said, "Really? Well, what was? You know, we're not even talking about a math problem from homework. He's talking about, well, I had this to do and this, and then I decided to do this." Yes. That means you are thinking.
Yes.
Out of the solutions,
Yeah.
more than one maybe, but you're thinking. So Fred, we thank you for getting this conversation started over here. Me and Jalita can have a whole show
on parenting.
a whole show on that subject alone.
Yes.
But I will definitely put that down on the list of things that we can, you know,
we should have a parent round table.
Yeah, just bring a whole bunch of people in here. Yeah, absolutely.
Different philosophies.
Homeschool versus the like you said, the private school versus the public school versus, you know, the belief that the teacher's job is to do it all or the parent's job, you know, just So thank you, Fred, for igniting us around here.
Oh, you still there?
Yes, I'm sorry. So it's the early years. During those developmental years. Well, thank you, Fred, for staying on accidentally when Dr. Finney got off, and now, you know, sparking some things over here to Empower Hour, and we would love to have you listen in whenever you can at the app, online, at Monday through Friday at noon, where we have special guests about an array of things. And now, I'm going to have a parent roundtable just to have this conversation. So thank you for calling, Fred. Bye-bye. All right, but yeah, that conversation is for sure, you know, something that is extremely important. And relationship is another one that everybody keeps thinking that I should have, you know, to have on the show. All right, but back to Miss Jimelita. So Jimelita, you went to school. You were obviously born and raised right here in Chicago.
That's right.
And went to grade school and high school where?
I went to Beasley Academic Center, Curie High School of Performing Arts.
Okay.
And then went on to DePaul University.
And studied theater management.
Theater management and international marketing.
Okay, so now that's before your mom you all built the Harold Washington Cultural Center. So how in and of itself did you choose theater management over, say, being an actress or, you know?
Because it goes back to the Krispy Kreme. I need to know how the money is made. You know, I'd rather be the person employing the actor than the actor that can get cut from the production.
And then have to try to keep finding more work. Yes.
I got an opportunity to learn that very early on under ETA and Black Ensemble, and then I said, okay, I want to do what Abina does. I want to do what Jackie does.
Okay.
How does that work?
But
how do you do it bigger?
Even bigger than what they do. And then to tie in it with a historical figure, such as Harold Washington.
Absolutely.
Right? To be given that name, did you have to go through some processes to name it the Harold Washington Cultural Center?
It was very celebratory. So initially it was supposed to be the Lou Ross Theater, is what it was supposed to be named, the Lou Ross Theater. And so it was, the last project that he did in the Third Ward, Harold Washington, was signing off on the demolition of the South Center building, which is where the Harold Washington Cultural Center presently sits. And that was owned by S.B. Fuller. of SB Spoilers Enterprises. And so when that was demolished, everything got started putting in place for this facility to become years and years that preceded any concept of the actual cultural center coming.
Gotcha.
And so it was only befitting to have a name of a facility that celebrates the arts, because he loved everything about the arts.
He did.
And inside the theater, there's a 1,000-seat theater, a recording studio, a video editing lab. We have a dance studio, 3 dance studios.
And I don't think people know that this is all that's in there. So here's again is another opportunity for you to share what the Harold Washington Cultural Center's access is to the community. So tell us, what can someone do? How do they go about it? Should they want to use it for an event or something?
So, okay, it's much bigger than an event. Right now, we're running our Cyber Monday sales and deals for people who want to rent the Cultural Center out the theater.
Okay.
So we're taking $1,000 off the date if you're, a full price, for-profit entity. We're taking $2,500 off the date if you are a not-for-profit, because many not-for-profits are getting ready for Giving Tuesday tomorrow.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out how to raise money. I'm like, well, listen, we have 1,000 seats. We will give you this space for a discounted rate so that you can use these 1,000 seats and turn that Giving Tuesday date further down the line into possibly a $100,000 fundraiser for your organization.
So they book it by today for use of tomorrow's theme of Giving Tuesday, but can use it before the end of the year.
They have up to 2 years.
Up to 2 years to use it. Okay, all right. So then they reach out through what system? Online, Facebook?
Through our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, or our website, and we're going to actually run this from now until the end of the year. Meaning we're running this promotion. It starts with Cyber and it goes through Giving, and then we're going to run it all the way through, or until the slots fill up, whichever one comes first.
Because
they've been calling.
Get to it first.
Yeah, they've been calling.
So non-for-profits can use it, and then the
for-profits
can use it. Not only the theater, but you have smaller rooms.
Yeah, we have smaller rooms. We have classrooms. We have lecture halls. We have the atrium, which holds up to 500 people, and then we also have an annex space that they're able to use for events for about 100 people.
Okay.
So then we're able to work out and craft something that works for them. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and we're always encouraging when people are doing productions there, think larger than the 1,000 seats, think content development. How do you stream it live so that not only are you able to get someone paying the $40 for your seat, but let's say you're streaming it live, so now you have American Express presenting your live concert, and now you're touching millions of people pay 99 cents, now your fundraiser done went from a 40,000 potential to $1 million potential.
And what a great way. We're always talking about how technology is changing just about any and everything. And this is probably going to be the first time I thought to hear how technology can change an actual play or something live in theater. Well, obviously, I know I'm doing this now on this show, via Facebook, so I guess it's the same concept, in reality is, but how to quantify it, or to have it have a dollar value, then that's what you're saying is you partner with somebody like American Express or PayPal or something, where in essence to log in you pay this 99 cents, but it's very minimal. It is, but then minimal at times a bigger number adds up real fast, and there is no overhead for that. That's really what it is.
And then they get the branding, they get the touches, they get the community fuzzies, if you will. They get all of that.
Right, so then the people who want to see it live have access, and those who are fine with getting it technologically streamed to them while I'm in Bermuda or whatever can do it the same way.
Absolutely.
Right? And so this is why, obviously, Ford and GCI are promoting you as one of the women, the ladies. These ladies that succeed and are driven, to success, right? So they're having a brunch for you all on Saturday.
Yes.
The 2nd, and so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about this award and and what they said about it, why they're offering this to you.
So this is exciting. Kendra G is having the Kendra G Born to Roll, and is sponsored and presented by iHeartMedia.
Okay.
This is having a global impact, showing Black women that are able to work together and even independently in their own various fields, and to do things that are exceptional and make an impact in their community. So this is bringing global awareness to our various organizations, our businesses. I mean, it's everyone from I'm getting honored, Catrice Armstrong's getting honored, Man, it's so many women in name.
It's so many women in name.
Well,
congratulations to all these women. Yes.
Shout out to all of them. It's some of them are brand developers, some of them, like I'm in the arts. And when people say, well, what does a global director do?
Right.
We take the Harold Washington Cultural Center and we do things on an international level. We've done things in Paris just recently. We do things in Ghana as a cultural arts exchange. We recently had this pod at the Cultural Center where you can get inside of our pod, and we were putting on productions inside of this golden pod and connecting to other countries from the Cultural Center. Okay. So it's important for us to be consistent with our local community, but take our entity on a global level, to scale it globally.
And not only that, but to redefine for those who see images that are being produced
Absolutely.
by others as to who we are and what we do. And I had a guest on that was here from South Africa, and we were talking at the time about how different they are presented to us and we are presented to them.
Absolutely.
And here's an opportunity to take the positivity of who we are and what we do. And I think, this show has been mirrored to be doing that. And so I'm honored for that, opportunity as well to say, hey, no, we're not all this. And we, and some of us can think outside of the box, and, we're doing some great things.
We're not all
loving
it sounds
like.
We're not all angry.
You're right. Like I haven't even watched that show.
We're not all any of that. And, there may be spots and picks there, here and there. Yes. But we have to begin to control our images in the media.
Because just like what he said about these children.
Yeah, they're looking up to it and they're looking at it. And shows like this is very important for young women to be able to tune in and even be able to play it back and have authentic, genuine discussions about their authentic self and how they see themselves. Because it's one thing to change, which is outside, but when you do an overall transformation of how you're being viewed, that's inside out.
That's inside out. That was what Dana said, right? That he thought that you were great inside and out. But I have to take this opportunity to share with you, because I'm not sure if you know, but on tomorrow, Dr. Georgiana Simpson.
I love her.
Yeah, so she is, a bust is being unveiled in her honor.
Where?
In the Reynolds Club on University of Chicago's campus at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
We there.
That is tomorrow. And of course, she was a member of Beta Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, so we are playing a small part in the sponsoring of everything that went down.
First of all, this woman is very charitable. She's very philanthropic. Period. Meaning when we were going through a lot at the Harold Washington Cultural Center.
No, this is Dr. Georgiana Simpson, PhD from 1921.
Oh, no. I'm thinking Georgiana Simmons. I'm like,
no.
Let me tell you.
I'm like, no. You
not that
her.
bus. No way. I ain't never met that lady.
Right.
I mean, that lady.
But she was the
first
ghost
one
of
to Georgiana Simmons.
Right. She was the first one to get a PhD from the University of
Chicago,
we definitely African American woman.
We're there.
And the second in the world to get one. So still great honor
love it.
To do so. But she did that at the age of 55 in 1921.
I love
when
that.
After she got put out of the dorms because of the color of her skin.
So
she is actually going to be in the Reynolds Club, which you usually at the time was an all-male, white male facility. So she will be in the hallways with this huge bronze bust. We're also showing her 3 stripes as having a PhD across from the bronze painting hanging of the president at the time who put her out. It is very huge. It is very nice. It is a very honoring thing, and we're so excited about that. And the young girls who started this were 2 students on the campus who started this monumental women's project. And I will have one of them on Wednesday as we, talk post the event. But tomorrow is the event at the Reynolds Club.
We're going
It's a free event. Yes, and everybody can be a part of that. I think we'll probably live stream it from our Facebook pages as well. But we're going to take a quick break now, and we're going to come back with a little bit more from Jimalita Tillman and talk about the awards and some of the things that are currently available going on at the Culture Center.
Absolutely.
You are listening to Empower Hour, and this is Bertina Power. Don't forget to download the app or log into urbanbroadcastmedia.com. We'll be right back after these messages. Yes.
Look, so let me show you this lady. She's an AKA to her. That's what I thought.
Georgiana Simmons. Oh, yeah.
Right, so I think you're talking about her. I'm like, shoot. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I know
Dr. Georgiana, yes. No, this is different.
Okay, look.
I said, put your feet down so you can see you.
Well, Magnus, ain't nobody tell you to get all my feet up in her, Magnus.
That's what happens when they scan down a little bit further. See, we all got a tight shot going on right here. Let's see who else. Jeanette and Valencia, Reggie and Angel and Pam, Lennon Broughton, hey Will, Brian, Kim Booker, Ken Speller, Elizabeth, James Potter, hey Olive and Freight Brim, Michael, Melanie, hey cuz, and Clark. So hey everybody, I'm so excited to have had you all on the show and chimed in and say hello. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about what those events are going on, and then I have a couple that we'll announce. We'll do my quote and we'll wrap it all up. Suspect that we don't get another caller in.
Man, I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is this is an exciting week right here. This, it's like it's after Thanksgiving. You're supposed to be just barely trying to get yourself together.
It's high energy.
From the lull of like 5 days off. That's what I told my son. I was like, dude, you've been off for 5 days. Aren't you ready to go back to school? Your friends are going, y'all gonna need to reintroduce yourself at school because you're gonna forget who everybody was. He's like, nah, mama. No, and he's actually into the theater. At the school they have a play, so he's gonna be in play.
Bring him down to see Chicago Style Nutcracker. It's
fantastic. This is the first time you've done that?
Yes, no, this was the first time.
Okay.
We've done before Miracle on 47th Street, and then we've done Ebony Scrooge.
Okay.
But the Chicago Style Nutcracker is hilarious. We got the STEM-tastic Rat King. He's like 70-something years old, and his grandson, the millennial, don't want to take over the kingdom and the legacy. He's running him up. He'd rather just be kicking in. When he said, listen, we done built this empire. I am the Rat King. Right. You are supposed to be carrying this on, so you making me, I can't retire because it's a beautiful thing.
So we'll talk about that and when the show is, how much the tickets are, how to get those, and things like that.
Absolutely.
And then we'll talk offline about something else that I'm thinking about. I haven't finalized as of yet, but I'm thinking about it. So hey everybody out there on Facebook, UVM, over here live. I saw it on my phone. It's like, Jamila is live. Yes, she's live. She's live in my studio right now.
In the building.
In the building. Yeah, since the BCB graduate.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people, I say, we always ask about the school because somehow the schools denote a connection you might have with an individual, and so everybody's like, I don't know, why you always ask what high school somebody went to.
No, that's important.
You need to know.
That is important.
All right. We are back. This is Bertina Power, and you are listening to Urban Broadcast Media's, I don't know if I can say newest show now. We're about 2 months old as we come up on, actually December 2nd will make me 2 months we've been doing this show, but this is Empower Hour, and our guest today on my Money Matters Day is because she is a Global Director Program of Operations for the Harold Washington Cultural Center, and apparently STEM and all the things that you are producing and sharing and teaching and educating over there is a part of what Empower Hour likes to do, because our goal is to educate, enrich, and empower our listeners on an array of subjects. So, this award you're getting obviously is not the first award. You also awarded 40 Under 40, which is another one of those most recognizable awards with game changing around here. But you, as your mother, been involved in the politics of the world since you were a young girl.
Yes,
as
ma'am.
you said, because if you were second grade, making calls, asking people to vote for Harold Washington.
Doing the Thanksgiving giveaways, and at second grade, your dinner was at the Packing House, the Robert Hayes Center, or at when we moved it over to 39th. It was like you grew up having to serve. You served and you served with the people. Not everybody was in need. They just want sometimes be together with their families, right? And then the same thing with the toys. So it still carries on today, and I carry that legacy to my daughter. Her name is Dorothy Jane. So I give her that now so she can understand the importance of giving back.
Absolutely. And when I tell my son now, he had the first time, as we said, you have to explain everything. I said, well, we're getting ready to go do community service. He was just like, well, what is that, right? So then there's an understanding and trying to break down what that community service is. And like the gentleman Fred said, that first 12 years is the age upon which you create this, this habit or this understanding. And so community service, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so it is our objective. I was raised in a household not knowing that it had anything to do with sorority or fraternities or any organization. My mom was always one of, this is what we're going to do. We gave away everything we outgrew that still looked decent, and toys we gave away. One of our groups at the Akarama Foundation, the young girls that we do 6th to 8th grade, I went in there and I stopped by and I said hi, and I said, oh, everybody's ready to get new gifts for Christmas, and of course they were like, yeah. I said, well then make sure you give away one.
Yes.
for what it
That's
is
right.
that you're getting for somebody who's not going to have anything
Yes.
for Christmas, and you're probably going to have a whole tree full of stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
important.
yeah, so it's just, you know, just like you said, one little thing coming from somebody, you know, and I know that, you know, in the entertainment world, people always, you know, oh, it's not my responsibility to show and share that,
Yeah.
but you would agree that it is.
Yeah, I think that it is. It is important if you have a platform in order to make a difference where someone somewhere is looking up to you, you need to leave them better than you found them. You know, even if your music does one thing, okay, I can't change what you're doing with your music. But when you're out in this community, you need to be talking to these young men and these young women.
Yes.
You need to be setting an example, and then hopefully the music and things will come around to be more appropriate and more effective. But you gotta move past 50 clips, 50 shots.
Right.
You know, you gotta
right,
move
exactly.
past that.
And Chance is one to fall under that, who is constantly doing good things in the Chicagoland area, you know, even though music is his world, you would think
Yes.
so. You almost think he's ready to run for office or something, you know, with the way he's doing things.
You know, he's
and
an
making
example.
the news.
He's an example of a young man that if his parents had given up on him or the village had given up on him, then he would be another statistic, because he was a part of a program, open mic, right? So Brother Mike used to have an event, this U-Media event, and it was a big deal, and it was where they can come and do improv, and they can do skits, and it was a safe haven for them to come to. And we used to do, at the time I had Spoken Word Cafe, so I would do a lot of things with Brother Mike, and then we first opened the Cultural Center, and you have to remember when Chancellor was much younger, his parents supported his craft and his art.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have that, and that's important. And of course, everybody, and young people are always going to test their boundaries, and young people are going to always try to see what they can get away with.
Yeah.
And it's important to be able to give them enough rope that they're able to know to come their way back home.
Right. Well, this is right, because it is not yours as the parent's goal and objective, or what you didn't get a chance to do when you were younger, and you want to live vicariously through your child. No, it is, like you said, opening up and saying to your child, come to me with whatever it is. Like, who knew? My child was in these other schools. They didn't have these opportunities to be in plays and everything, and now he wants to go out and audition for everything, and I'm thinking, really? This is what we're doing? You know, like, that is not my thought process, but I'm behind you, I'm supporting you, you going to rehearsals, what is your costume, you know, I'm gonna be at the show, you know, whatever it is, to be there, to be a part of it. And he has a great understanding, which we also have to teach. You don't not always be the star.
Right.
The light is not always on you, you know, but your support and your assistance, you'll grow. These are the upper kids who've been doing this a longer time that might get that role. You start now, you learn, you'll be an upper grade school kid, and you'll get the big part.
And one of the things we teach our actors is there's no camera in action without light. So learn light, tech, and design. Learn other aspects of theater. Theater has a heavy STEM component, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you're not calculating out the dimensions of this set right, the set might fall over. So math is very important when you're dealing with the arts. And then a lot of people don't understand the scientific aspect of it when it comes to theater and performing arts. So we take a delegation of students every year to the Tony Awards, which is the highest coveted award for Broadway musical theater.
Yes.
And we do it for free. They don't pay for anything.
Wow.
Our programs at the Harold Washington Cultural Center within theater are 100% free. And so we teach them and get them Broadway ready. We're very, very keen on Broadway musical theater so that they can be able to dance, sing, play an instrument, sew a costume, we handle the lights, all of that. And this year we were adopted by BET with Louis and Diane Carr. So we got a chance to take a delegation of students to the Genius Act, a part of the BET Awards, where these Genius Talks were happening. So they got a chance to do some really cool things with Anika Noni Rose and all these really major people during that. And then we also took girls to Black Girls Rock in New Jersey this year.
Yes, Black Girls Magic.
It's a big deal. So you have to be able to expose young people to something outside of their block. Right. You know, you have to, and like the brother that does the My Block, My City, My Hood,
Jamal, yes, he got an award here at the Met.
If the brothers and sisters don't know what's happening downtown, short of what they lie to us about every day on TV, they're never going to be able to appreciate this wonderful culture here in Chicago.
Right here in Chicago.
Such a rich culture.
He was just like, you don't have to go anywhere, but you do have to get off your block.
You got to get off your block.
You have to get off your block, and the same, what one would consider the same mentality. You know, it's like you have to move past that just to even experience it. And Chicago is rich. Chicago is a destination. Your hometown, the town you grew up in, is a destination for people across the water, like all over the world. People want to come to Chicago. Like, you think you want to go to New York, or you think you want to go to Jamaica. People want to come to Chicago.
People are saving up their coins to come to Chicago. And as J. Marco has my block, my city, my hood, my plane ticket, and my passport. It's so important to get these babies in travel. Yes. You can find some tickets for cheaper than some Jordans.
What? Oh, we're not going to talk about that. Right? We're not going to talk about that. That's on that parenting show that we're going to talk about. Like,
absolutely.
How you can take some of those monies and do things, you know, a little bit more for you and for the future of that child. But let's talk about briefly before we go, what are some of the events currently going on at the Harold Washington Cultural Center that the audience can, you know, share and take back to others? And so they go to where? The site, the HaroldWashingtonCultureCenter.org.com.
Broadway, it's BroadwayandBronzeville.com.
BroadwayandBronzeville.com.
We want to be able to give people a full Broadway musical theater experience at the Cultural Center. Even when we have our Black Excellence series that we've launched. So we started it with Sphinx Virtuosi, which is an 18-piece chamber orchestra that recently performed on Saturday Night Live. So we did an event with them last month, this coming Friday, and those events are free. On this coming Friday, December 1st, we have a free jazz showcase and masterclass with Mike Phillips. So all you gotta do is log on to our page and just let us know how many tickets we'll block. If you say you want the tickets, come and enjoy it and participate in this free program.
What time on December 1st?
On December 1st in the evening. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 1. There's an art exhibition that's gonna go. 7.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, I'm thinking 6 p.m.
And
the show starts at 7.
Okay.
And for 1 hour, there is a meet and greet in the atrium where you get a chance to experience some art. So it's fine art and jazz. Okay. So that's the one I'm thinking about.
And it's free.
And it's free.
So free. See, and I try to tell people all the time.
And it's family friendly.
So you can bring the kids.
You bring the kids.
They can't have the wine, but they can have everything else. They can experience the art. They can experience the meeting of other people. And just that whole socialization outside of Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, because that's another issue that lies within individuals, is their inability to separate, you know, talking to somebody directly.
It's one of the things that I make a joke to some of my guy friends. They always look for something to do. I'm like, listen, there's always stuff to do on Visitation Friday. You come on down to the Harold Washington Cultural Center, take one of these dance classes, tap classes, acting class, do something. There's free stuff for you to do.
And all of it is listed on Broadway
in Bronzeville.
Bronzeville.com. BroadwayandBronzeville.com.
Yes.
Lists everything that's going on every day for free down at the Harold Washington Cultural Center.
Yes.
And just for those who might be listening to us from outside of Chicago and has no clue, we are talking about the 4700 corner. What's the exact address?
4701 South King Drive in the heart of Chicago's historic Blues District. At the site of the old Regal Theater. And one of the other pieces that we're excited about, we're also highlighting a lot of independent filmmakers. We recently had an independent film that screened this past Saturday, September Rain. And then coming up, we have Paradigm Gray. It's a horror film that's an independent film shot by Chris Adams. So that's on December 2nd. That's Saturday. The door, again, I'm telling you, fathers, we got the shows for the whole weekend. Pack your whole weekend out. And then on Monday, there's a major Jay-Z tribute that's being done by Chris Lamarck. It's the Chris Lamarck Experience. That's pretty funky. He's going to have the black tie, and it's really Broadway. It's Jay-Z done Broadway style.
Jay-Z done Broadway style. All right. So congratulations, Jimalita Tillman, on all that you are continuing to do.
Yes.
You know, I probably should have had you on Doing Good in the Hood, but we know that you are a businesswoman, being the Global Director of Programs and Operations over at Harold Washington Cultural Center, and it is that is okay. And the Nutcracker.
I know Nutcracker opens
Nutcracker
it's
opens
the Chicago style Nutcracker. It's all things Chicago. Everything from stepping to the hot dog to popcorn. Opens up December 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's a hot weekend. The tickets are selling like crazy. If you can't get them,
that one is not free, but you can go online and get the tickets.
Or you can bring a toiletry like the hand sanitizer. We're raising awareness for I Am Naeem. It's a young brother that gets toys. He's 11 years old. A young brother that collects toiletries for homeless teens. So bring your toiletry. You get in for half the price. Come without it. Pay $20.
Pay $20. Not a bad idea for a fun evening that is celebrating something else. So as we close the show, Jimalita, I always do a quote, and this Eleanor Roosevelt quote for sure represents you. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Because I am sure many a times they told you you can't do this.
Absolutely.
Or this is not going to be able to happen. But you kept at it.
That's
because
right.
you must do the thing you think you cannot do.
Absolutely. They counted us out a long time ago. We still here, baby.
Long time ago.
Still here.
So congratulations.
Shout out to Bertie.
Shout out to my little brother.
Because without Bertie, I don't know. We do a whole different show.
Shout out to Attorney Bertie Power. Yes. Little brother who helped save and make sure that they were doing for the babies. That is correct.
He loves kids.
You are listening to Bertina Power on the Empower Hour Show at Urban Broadcast Media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, we are there. We thank you for being a part. Mark Allen's coming up next with Hear My Voice, and I'll see you tomorrow on Tuesday live at noon. Bye. Yes.